That defense had a really good day. Thought defense early for about 3/4 of practice was really, really good. And then the offense, they got the offense, but then they rebounded back. I was proud to see some of the young guys rebound back after that, and the offense had a really good at the end. So likes the defense finish it, and the offense, but I was proud of the way they responded. But defense had a really good day for the most part, and good practice. I mean, it was a good, tough, hard practice, and got through some things. Got to get better.
They bounced back just the way.
Yeah, I mean, they did okay. I didn't offensively. I thought we missed some things execution-wise here last day or so that we were really doing well, and all of a sudden, but the defense has a lot to do with that. I think they have a lot to do with that and responded back in some competitive nature. And but I'd like to see it not quite get so one-sided for as long as it did. Sometimes you're going to have those spurts in the game, but when you play good people, and we got a good defense, but we got a good offense too, and they responded back just a little later than I really wanted to. But they did do that, so I was proud of that.
So Willie calls okay.
No, Willie's got a foot that's bothering him. It's swelled up on him. I don't know what's the matter with him. He's had it's the same as an injury. It's exactly where it was in high school, same area, and it just flared up and swelled up. And he had a great day yesterday. Just come in this morning, didn't get hit, didn't get tackled. Just I don't know from running, was just swelled up. So I have to check it out.
Yeah, he's probably out.
I'll have to wait and see. That's swelling will go back. I mean, he had a really good day yesterday. Didn't get hit, didn't get tackled. Just come in today. Sometimes the foot was swelled up. So.
Nick O'Leary been able to be out here?
No, Nick got banged up in that scrimmage too. He got a ball early and got tackled and banged his head a little bit too. So had a slight concussion on. But I don't think it's a bad one. But so we've kept him out for a couple of days.
You'll hold him out Saturday as well.
Well, that'll be the doctors. I mean, those things there, I'm not the expert to be able to say that. I mean, but I want to say I'm assume so, but I don't want to say that either because he may be fine. I mean, those things, like I say, that one that Kenny Shaw had looked like a bad one that time, and he cleared up quickly, and everything was fine. And then other ones you think are little. I mean, those things are funny how they react. Each guy reacts differently. That was a weird deal. He played the whole scrimmage. Then he said it happened on that play, and then they tested and thought he had, the symptoms. So we're just being very precautious. Just a normal, call a little slant route and tackle normal. I don't know what happened.
Is it kind of, I guess, strange in a certain sense of time because you guys have been so healthy?
Oh, I know. That's the only 2 times we've had, tackling days. That's why you got to be careful when you tackle. I mean, you really do. But you have to scrimmage. I mean, that's part of it, too. And it's no different format than we've used ever and ever and ever. And what everybody does, we only actually hit the ground 2 different times. I mean, we're cutting guys and, tackling. So it was just one of those days. And when you got good players on both sides, that happens sometimes because it's a physical nature of the beast. But a couple of them are I won't say freak things, but just things that just normal things. Weren't big hits or, you know what I mean? But sometimes they happen.
What are a few of the things you look for in a scrimmage that a head coach looks for in a spring game?
Well, in the spring game, how you handle going out there in front of people with the clock on, the lights on, your composure. Can you execute and do the same things you were doing in practice, carry them to the field? You know what I mean? It's the first time, even though it's a simulated game for those guys. I mean, some of these guys, first time they've ever been asked to do action where they're really being counted upon. So you like to see how that atmosphere and environment, does it bother them or does it not bother them, from that standpoint. And then their execution on the day, and we'll be much simpler than we were in all phases on both sides on that day because you got guys mixed up in the things you're doing. You're not going to go out there and run everything. Again, you got to have a running clock. So, right. But from that point, just how you handle the atmosphere and environment and how you execute and compete the game.
Do you try to put on a show at all at spring game, or do you call it pretty much just like you would normally call a game?
No, we're going to put guys in position, and we'll try to say, hey, I want to try and we want to win the game, but I want to make sure so-and-so gets so many chances to run it or throw it at him, or you try to direct some balls to see how each guy handles those situations in there. I mean, it'll still be more that way, but the guys will call the game. They'll also call one side, and Randy Sanders will call the other. We'll have some set plays, and we'll get a plan to what we'll try and do. See how some guys react. I am very much so. I mean, that's how they react and how they handle things, the good and the bad, whatever. And, and you may put a lot more pressure on them. You may not be able to run the ball as much. So you may have to feature receivers and tight ends and throw the ball more. So that puts more pressure on them. And, it'd be good to put a lot of pressure on them early in the scrimmage, see how, in a situation like that, see how they react. Get them lots of opportunities. You know what I mean?
And it's not the pressure of, say, at Pittsburgh to open a season.
No.
But there's still an inherent
but there's crowd and people watching.
Yeah,
when you get in front of people and, it's just like a scrimmage game. You know what I mean? That's why the pros go do a scrimmage game and they make their decisions. Guys, what they see in practice, can they carry it to the game field and execute under those situations? And very much, these things to me are like NFL exhibitions. Your offense is your base stuff. You know what I'm saying? You're not but you're looking at how's the guy handle the situation. Does he execute? Now, you want to throw and catch and win the game, or play defense and tackle and do those kind of things, but it's still, lights are on, people are out there. It's nothing like a real game, but it's as close as you can get.
Right.
And you guys will do the same thing you have the last few years as far as like picking teams?
No, we won't pick teams. We're going to have the one offense will be on one team with the two defense. So the one offense will always go against the one defense all day, and then the two offense, the two defense will be on and go against each other. And we'll kick. We won't be live kicking. With the field goals, we'll kick, we'll punt, but we won't cover and run them back, and then just to get the mechanism of getting the guys punt and do that kind of things. We're similar that way. Won't pick teams that way. We're just going to leave it on the offense and defense work. Keep the cohesiveness of at least the guys that work together a little bit.
Was that a decision you guys made coming in the spring? Or
no, as we went into it. I've done it that way before. And, we have different positions, don't have as much depth.
Yeah.
So I think it would cause more problems, especially when you're trying to see some of the quarterbacks and some of the things. Even though a 2 who's a good 2 or a 2, and he gets to working with a 1, a guy he's never usually in the line of scrimmage with, just the communication lines, we thought it would be better for execution from that standpoint. On both sides, even defense too, because you're putting in new things. So you're not mixed in. You're used to playing with a guy beside you. The little nuances every day at work. Your boss doesn't always know what your buddy tells you every day. He may tell you a little something to remind you every day on certain things, and you help him. So we wanted to keep it with new defense, numbers and things. We wanted to try to keep as much cohesiveness as we could.
Talking about guys playing in front of crowds, Chris Casher hasn't, I guess, played in front of one since 2010.
Oh, it's been a long time, yeah. Really.
You're kind of anxious, or not anxious, but interested to see how he handles actually playing.
I'm anxious to see how they all do. But yes, it's good for Chris to get back out there and play. And Chris got a chance to be a very good player. He's got to keep coming and doing the things. So this will be a nice step for him.
Is he showing the things that you saw?
You see the athleticism, yeah.
Right.
But you got to remember, he's still learning a new position.
Right.
High school, he was a wide out and an outside backer. He'd never put his hand in the dirt and taking those kind of things on. So it's all new to him too. You know what I'm saying? He's a big, strong athlete. He's going to be a very good player.
Burst off the edge, one of those guys?
He can be. He's not totally back to totally health right now. You can still, he's not running like he did. He's running better, but he'll stay, get through this, have a good summer. Hopefully by fall camp he'll be ready to roll.